Seatbelt on. Hold on.
Peace, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's the Reaction Overlord here at the Reaction Studios, and we're back with another video. Alright, so we're going to do a spoilers review on HBO Max hit series The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 1, titled When You're in the Darkness. Now, this is coming from the game The Last of Us. I did a trailer for this series a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago. But I finally checked out the first 3 episodes, and I'm going to do a review on each episode by episode, and this is going to be for episode 1. So if you haven't watched the episode already, I advise you to turn away now. Episode 1 started with being in the past. It was like 1968, and they were on a show, and they had 2 scientists on there. One name was Dr. Newman, who he theorized his belief that instead of a virus destroying humanity, it can be fungus. And that's pretty much what happened. He said that what if the earth heated up to a point where as though fungi can survive in hotter temperatures, because right now they can't, and they adapt to the climate, whereas though they can start affecting humans. And I like that concept because it's pretty much real life theorization of real life fungi that affect certain insects like ants. Some scientists believe that if they were able to survive in the air longer and hotter, warmer climate and temperatures, that they can actually affect humans and will be succumb to the same effects that army ants do. So I like how the way they did it. Now, I said this before on my reaction to the trailer, that I do know about the game and I've played it before, but I wasn't a real big game player, so I wasn't really into it like that. Like, to be honest, I didn't even know the characters, so going into the show, I was pretty much new at it. It was just like something, whole new concept to me, kind of like another version of The Walking Dead, pretty much. So when I was watching the reactions to certain people's videos before I seen it, certain people were saying that they was veering off from the game, which for me it didn't affect me because I didn't really was into the game. But beginning starts at 1968, like I said, then it's fast forward to 2003, I believe. It fast forward to 2003, and that's when the actual zombie outbreak actually happened. You got the main star, Joe, who was played by Pedro Pascal. I think that's his name. But he kind of looked like the character from the game. I do give him that. Him and his daughter Sarah and Tommy, you see them in the beginning. They're getting ready to go to work, and she go up in his room and steal money out his drawer, which I'm looking like, damn, you a little thief. But they showed what she was really doing because it was his birthday. So she got his old watch and took it to a repair shop to get it, fixed for her birthday, because she said that he wouldn't do it. What she did give to him later on that night, and she did tell him that she took the money and she put the change back. So I was like, all right, you did it for a good cause. So I give you that. But as they was going to school, you see the neighbor across the street, and you see the guy feeding the old lady, and I'm looking at it like, that's going to be something important, because I think that old lady going to turn into a zombie, which in fact that she did. They were feeding the lady biscuits, whatever, which my daughter told me that was important. She was watching the film theory video, and they believe that that's how the outbreak spread it, through like the flour and everything, the foods that people was kind of eating. And those biscuits was supposed to be the the fungus inside there. And when Joe said that, I'm on an Atkins diet, it was good because he probably would have got sick and quarter two. But she went to school. After school, she went to the repair shop. And as she's in a repair shop, as the man fixing her watch, I guess that's his wife came in. She rushed in and started closing the store and everything, and was like, "All right, you gotta leave. You gotta go home," and telling the girl to go home. And I'm assuming she heard news because in the beginning, while Sarah, Joe, and Tommy was eating breakfast, they did hear like a news report saying like something was going on over there in one of those countries, like in Indonesia, but they didn't really say what was going on. Couldn't really hear as much because they were talking over top of it, but they just let you hear the beginning part, that forecast, just to let you know that something is going down and it's about to come over here. So by the time she got to the repair shop, it had already been over here. And she go home, tell her dad about the watch situation, about the money and everything, and they're rushing the movie because she borrowed the movie from the neighbor before she went in the house. She went to the neighbor house. Yeah, so she went to the neighbor's house, and oh man, that was scary because as she was looking through the DVDs, looking for something for her and her dad to watch, the old lady that I was referring to earlier, she was in a wheelchair sitting behind her, but then she just started like twitching and all that old crazy stuff, and you just knew that she was about to just turn to a zombie and just get up and start attacking her, kind of like that old lady on Dawn of the Dead, 2004 Zack Snyder movie. Kind of reminded me of that, but she didn't. She didn't get up. The girl got the movie and left. So then she go home and watch the movie with her dad. And then she ended up falling asleep. And as she fall asleep, her dad get a call that their friend Tommy, who was with them earlier, got arrested. So he went to go bail him out while she sleep. It's nighttime at this time. And Sarah, she gets awakened by the sounds of explosions and helicopters and alarms and all that stuff. And you see green flashes in the background. And she don't know what's going on. She go outside and see like the helicopters flying over and everything. It was crazy. And the neighbor's dog, was over there scratching at the window trying to get in. So she go take the dog back home. As she take the dog closer to the door, the dog ran off. But she like plot. Man, I I hate story plots because in real life, I don't think nobody would have went inside that house. But she goes inside a dark house with a cracked door open where the dog ran out. As she go inside, she's calling the people. I think their name's the Antellis, and she see blood on the floor. So she turned the wall and she see like the old guy that she was talking to earlier, like bleeding from like the neck, and he on the floor like this, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the old lady come out, and you see her. She looking vicious, crazy, and you see like kind of like tentacle type things, wormy things, like like in her mouth, like kind of like out a little bit and going in. It was moving, and she ran after her, started trying to attack her. She ran out the house, and she got the house. Her dad, Joe, and Tommy pulled up in a pickup truck. Save her in the nick of time. He hit the lady with a wrench, and they go to drive off. As he driving off, the, the people that she attacked, the old man and the other lady that was there, they like, you know, get zombified and start coming out too. He ran them over, go off, and they try to leave the city, but the army was there blocking everybody. So they start trying to take scenic routes, but it was just like so much pandemonium where they were at. So many people running and everything, and then you see like planes overhead, like going real low, and then as they going down this block trying to reverse back, because there was so many people coming out, and it's like zombies too. You see like the plane in the background coming down real far, and they crash and they get into a. It was real crazy. I like that part, but they survive, and they separate from Tommy, but then as they about to try to leave, they get attacked by a zombie. Tommy come in the nick of time, save them, but they get separated from him again, and a military guy came and pretty much got the order on the phone to you know, terminate all civilians because I guess at that point now everything was happening all across the world. So the military were like, look, we just gotta get rid of everybody. And shot at them, and you know, didn't kill Joel. He was about to, but Tommy came in the nick of time and killed the army guy. But he had already killed Joel's daughter Sarah, and that was pretty much the beginning. Like that was the opening. That was crazy. Then fast forward, 20 years later, which would be present day now in 2023, and they live like in a dystopian world where it's like ran by government. It's like a real draconian. Um, it's curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's like real hard labor for food and everything. You got a ration. It's like a barter system. It's QZ, basically quarantine zones where people was living in. And then you got like the barren lands where the infected was. So it was crazy. And Joe, he was like working as a civilian, I guess trying to make ends meet and everything, but he was like a smuggler too, because you see him creating stuff for one of the military guys, and he was trying to get parts to go save his friend Tommy, because Tommy survived those past 20 years, but he was like in the West Coast somewhere. I mean, he was trying to get over there, and they needed parts for a car, and needed like a battery. So Joel's friend Tess, they show her like pretty much beating up. The first scene they show her got beat up by some guys. She escaped that from an explosion, but she get arrested by the army people thinking that she's the Fireflies, which is now the militia. Because now you got in this future you got a militia, a resistance who trying to fight the government and all that stuff and fight the infection. Which brings me to Ellie, little girl who seems to be immune to the infection, which I didn't know while they was asking all those questions and all that stuff in the beginning. Like I didn't know who she was, but you find out that she was bitten, kind of like Murphy on Z Nation. She was bitten, but she was immune, and they was pretty much going to use her, take her to the West Coast to some labs for them to make a cure. And Marlene, the head of the Fireflies, the militia at the Boston QZ zone, she got shot by Robert, who was the guy who beat up Tess and everything and his men. So she couldn't go, so she told Joel to take her. And Joel agreed on conditions that he get supplies in the car, working vehicle, and everything, just so he can go save Tommy. So he agreed, but they didn't tell Joel or Tess about the little girl, her condition, and everything. And as they were leaving at nighttime, it was raining. They were sneaking out, but then they got caught by the same armed guard who Joe be doing secret dealings with. And, he was drawing. He was like, no, get on your knees, turn around, all that stuff. And he's like, I'm not risking my job over y'all. So then Ellie, the little girl, she like stabbed him with a knife. And he like hit her. He was about to shoot her. Joe got in the way. He like, no. And the dude like, get down. Like, move out the way, sit down. And then he had like a flashback Joe of 20 years ago with the same situation, kind of what happened with the military guy who killed his daughter. And he like, no, we're not doing that again. So he just went and attacked the military dude, jumped on top of him before he can do anything, just start hitting him. And it just got real brutal. He's like, boom, 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 just like real bloody and stuff. I'm like, damn, it's crazy. But I know they got it, then you hear in the background like army people coming, so they had to get out of here, so they open up the gate, and you see them going into like the desolate city, and you see like flashes of like buildings, skyscrapers like laying on top of each other from like the war of old, and I was like, wow, that was that was only the first episode, man, that was dope. So I was like, all right, cool, we in there. So I liked it. Now, like I said, I wasn't, really into the game, but this makes me want to play the game now because watching that, I was like, all right, cool. So, but I like it, and I'm sure y'all did. And if you haven't seen it, make sure y'all go see it, check it out because it's something nice. It's good. It's kind of remind you of The Walking Dead back in the beginning when it was still fun and action packed and all that. But that's just my thoughts. Now, this is my spoilers review on episode 1. Stay tuned for my spoilers review on episode 2 and 3. The only way you'll be doing that if you hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell. That way you'll be notified when I upload these videos. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.